Welcome to the 5 for 2 podcast with me, your host Adele, where we say no to careers where you're trading 5 days of misery for 2 days of fun. A place we discuss all things career, confidence, and money moves. I want to motivate, teach, and empower ambitious women to achieve more, earn more, feel more confident, and enjoy the work they do. It's all about believing you can have everything you want in your career and then going and getting it. So if you're ready, let's get into it. Hi guys, and welcome. This is going to be the last episode of 2021, and I think it's only fitting that we talk about some massive milestones that my clients have achieved and how they did it. Because in the last 5 months, so at the date of recording this podcast, in the last 5 months, 7 of my clients have achieved in total combined 103k in pay rises. And just to really get to the root of how big that is, some of those pay rises included a 21k pay rise, a 22k pay rise, and a 38k pay rise. We are talking 5-figure pay rises. Those amounts are some people's salaries. Some people are on 22k. My clients are getting pay rises at that amount. Imagine getting a 38k pay rise. They were well deserved and they worked really hard. Some of my other clients got high 4-figure pay rises and 4-figure pay rises and just the first pay rises they've ever really got. They learned how to negotiate. They learned how to show off their skills. They learned how to show their boss how valuable they are. They believed in their value and they made amazing things happen for themselves and had amazing results. I know that some of these pay rises are going to change their lives. I've got clients that want to buy homes or want to invest, or clients that just want to live simply and easily. They don't want to be stressed about bills every month. They want to know that their mortgage or their rent is paid in advance because they got the money for it. They want to know that they've got so much disposable income that if someone calls them up and say, let's book a trip or let's go somewhere, and they really want to do it, they just can. They don't even have to think about it because money is not an issue. So I'm so proud of them. And I just want to talk about how they got there. Because they're not special. They didn't get another qualification. They didn't do anything more in terms of experience. Like they didn't come to me and then suddenly get 10 years more experience. They came to me with the experience they've got. They came to me with the qualifications they've got. And even though I'm saying they're not special, everyone's special. We're all special. But what I mean is they're no different from you or me. But it's what they did. It's how they changed their own beliefs around what they're capable of. That's what got them there. And that's what I wanted to talk about today, because I think it's so fitting. Because what I'm going to talk about today doesn't just help with money. It will help with you if you're trying to get a fulfilling career. It will help with your confidence. And to be honest, the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. So if you can get it together in your career, watch how you'll start to get it together in other areas of your life that you feel aren't going the way you want. So to start with, can I just be clear that when I first helped someone get a 5-figure pay rise, the first one I helped someone do, actually, the first one I did that was over 20k. Because previous to that, yes, 10k pay rises, it happened. But the first time I helped someone get 21k, my mind was blown. And I thought, okay, she did it, it's amazing. But I didn't think it would happen again. And then it did with another client. And then it happened again. And then I had a client who got 38k. And then I started to realize this just might be my thing. My thing might just be helping other people get the money they want. So I started playing around on Instagram and calling myself the money matchmaker. I didn't change my tag or anything. I was just playing around in stories. And I was like, you may as well start calling me the money matchmaker, because I'm helping people get 5-figure pay rises in 9 to 5s. And I think that's really important. I think it's so important to understand. I'm not talking about entrepreneurs. I have helped entrepreneurs get more money in their business. But right now we are talking about 9 to 5ers, because so many people will say, there's no money. You can't make unlimited money in 9 to 5. There's no freedom in a 9 to 5. You can't be well paid and enjoy your job. These are all things you just have heard. These are not all things that are true. My clients are proving that, and they're breaking barriers. So another coach actually asked me recently, how are you getting 5-figure pay rises for people? And I said to her, to be honest, it's just understanding that it's not what you say, but the way you say it. And once you learn to reposition your communications, you will be able to reposition the money that's in your bank account. So again, it's not what you say, guys, it's the way you say it. And once you believe you can, you do. And it's as simple as that. Once my clients believed they could, they did. Your brain will always default to everything that you've heard and everything that you know. But that doesn't mean it's right. And what I mean by that is your brain will say to you, well, it's normal for people to get a £2,000 or £3,000 pay rise. Like, that's normal. People do it all the time. But that's probably the highest you can get. And I can even say that if you had spoken to me 5-6 years ago, I would have probably said 5 to 7K is the max you're going to get on a pay rise. 5K was always what I aimed for. And I always thought that was really high. I was like, I'm going to go for a 5K pay rise. And I was always like, I think that's breaking rules. But again, it's because your brain defaults to what it knows, what it thinks is possible. I never even considered 22K pay rises until I helped a client do it. And then I started helping other clients do it because I realized that it wasn't what they were saying, but it was the way they were saying it. I also realized that it all came down to what they believed in their mind, what they really thought was possible. So like I said, your brain will always default to what it's heard and what it thinks is right. So if all your friends around you are saying, yeah, the most you can usually get is like £3,000 to £5,000 pay rise. It's really hard if you go for the 5,000. Not many people get it. If that's all you hear, then that's what you start to believe. If that's all you've seen, then that's what you start to believe. But if all your friends were saying, yeah, I got 20K pay rise last month. Oh yeah, I got 20K last month too. Oh, I got 15K. Oh, I got 18K. You would start to really think about it. You would really start to think that is the norm because those are the conversations you're having. You know that saying that they say if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room? Your salary is no different. If you're the highest paid person in your group, you need another group. And that doesn't mean you leave your friends behind. It just means you need to put yourself around people that can show you the way, around people that believe the big pay rises are possible. The people that believe the big pay rises are possible is because they've done it or they've seen other people do it. So then they go and do it. Starts off with a thought though. Because the truth is, when my clients come to me, if they don't think they can get it, they will not. It's as simple as that. They believe they can, so they do. And we do work to get them there. We put in the work internally to get them there. Yes, of course, there are strategies. Of course, there are strategies like some jobs are not going to pay that much. So if you want to get in front of the right jobs, you need a good CV. You don't need a good CV, you need a great CV. If you're in a job now that's paying 50K and you want to be in a job that's paying 75K, but you don't want to spend years getting more experience and more qualifications because we don't do that around here. Like, that's just not a rule that I've ever bought into. It's not a rule that my career has ever needed to go forward. So I don't teach my clients that. You can move forward whenever you're ready. But what you need is, what is your CV saying about you? Yes, there's strategies. You need to have the right CV so that you can actually book interviews at the companies that are paying the 75K, the 80K, the 100K if you're looking for a 6-figure job. You have to be in those rooms in the first place. So yes, there are strategies. I'm not saying there's not. But the CV can only get you in the door. The interview is what's going to secure you the role. And if you aren't confident and you turn up there and you think, wow, if they're paying 20K more, they're probably going to want me to do even more work. And you're already thinking that's going to make me tired. You're thinking, oh, I'm probably not smart enough to get this much money because if I was, I would have already been getting it. Those thoughts can never help you. Those thoughts will have you showing up with your shoulders hunched over, like sweating, doubting yourself, your palms are sweaty, like you're just not stepping into rooms confidently owning them and saying, I deserve to be here and I deserve every penny that I want and I'm asking for. And if you're not in that headspace, then how is the person that you're talking to, how is the person that you're selling yourself to at the interview going to believe you? And yes, interviews are where you sell yourself. A lot of people come to me and they say, no, I hate the thought of selling. Like, selling's awful, it's sleazy, it's cringy. Selling's none of those things. Selling is only that if you are lying. Selling only feels sleazy and weird when you don't believe 1000% in what you're talking about or what you're selling. If you don't believe that your skills are that good, then you're not going to want to sell them because you're going to shy away from it. So if you're not trusting yourself, that's imposter syndrome. That's you doubting your ability. If you don't believe you can do something, then of course selling yourself is going to feel awkward. And you are a mirror. If you feel awkward and don't believe yourself, the person interviewing you will confirm that back to you. You don't believe it, they don't believe it. You believe it wholeheartedly, they'll believe it. And once they believe it, the only thing you've got left to do is to see whether you would fit in with their team. That's the only thing left to do. Once an interviewer believes everything you're saying and they really feel like what you have is what they want, the last thing is team fit. And sometimes you're not going to get a job because maybe you don't fit the team. And that's a good thing because it will just end up being a job that you probably won't enjoy. And yes, again, there is strategy in interviews. There are things that I teach my clients what to say, like how to position their specific skills. Like you have to be able to talk about what you specifically have in relation to the job and help the person who's interviewing you, the hiring manager or the interviewer. You have to help them see you in that job. You have to make the puzzle pieces fit for them. If you don't have the experience, you have to explain to them why the experience you don't have isn't a problem. Why what you do have is so closely related to what they need from you that lack of experience is a non-issue. Yes, there are strategic ways you can answer those questions, but I can give 10 people the same strategy and they will not all get the same results. And that's what makes me know that it is not to do with what you say. It's about the way you say it. It's not to do with whether or not you can answer interview questions really, really well. It's to do with, can you answer interview questions really, really well? And do you believe them? And are you convincing? Because I can say all the right stuff and you wouldn't believe it because you're like, something's off. And that thing that's off is your confidence. That thing that's off is your self-doubt. That thing that's off is you not backing yourself 100%. Like I said, the things that I helped my clients with were more internal than they were external. And that's why there's such a big range of pay rises. That's why some of my clients got 7K pay rises and some of my clients got 22K pay rises. I taught them all the same things, but how they adopted it and how they really felt it in their body and in their bones is what created the result. My client who got £38,000 pay rise embodied the confidence, learned to believe in every single thing that she brings to the table and was able to talk about it so confidently that they threw the money at her, literally. And she did not start off there. She started off as the least confident one of my clients. She started off in a place where she was like, I'm not qualified. I do not have a degree. There is no way I can earn what I want, but something in me is pushing me to try. And that's all it takes. When she came to me, it wasn't that she already believed in herself. It was just that something inside her was saying, I want more and I can get more. I just don't know how. And I'm kind of not sure if I can really do it, but I'm going to try. You've got to make that decision. And once you make that decision, that's the start. So if you're listening to this podcast right now and you want a pay rise and you're working towards bettering yourself, your career, whatever it is, make a decision. And when I say make a decision, decide that's what I'm doing, that's what I'm going after. And that's it. You're not available for anything else. You're not available for 3K pay rises anymore. I'm going for a 7K pay rise. If that feels comfortable, it should feel a bit scary though. But decide. If you say, do you know what? I'm on 70K, but I want to be on 90. Decide. There are people with half your skill set, half your potential, getting paid what you want to get paid just because they decided. Getting paid what you want to get paid just because they said, let me try. Remember, trying Doesn't always mean success, but trying and failing helps you learn what to do next to get the success you want. A lot of people will take 1 or 2 knockbacks at interviews, go for a few interviews and just be like, I'm done. This is too hard. No one wants to hire me. Like, why am I even doing this? Guys, if 2 or 3 places weren't right for you, that's okay. There's like another 50,000 jobs out there that might be right for you. If you book 7 interviews and you only get offered 2, as long as they're what you want, the money you want, why is it a problem? Stop falling at the first hurdle. Stop giving up at the first problem. Again, that comes back to self-worth and self-confidence. So what do my clients do? Let me give you just a few things that my clients do. We work on journaling and reframing your thoughts. Oh my gosh, this is so important. So if the thought is, I'm not smart enough, or capable enough, or qualified enough to get a 20k pay rise, what would you prefer to feel? What can be closer to the truth? And I'm a big believer, you cannot jump from I'm not enough to I'm enough. I don't feel like you can make that jump. I don't feel like that's a good reframe. Like people will say to you, right, I am not enough. Then next to it, right, I am enough. I don't feel like, unless you've done a lot of mindset work, I don't feel like that works. I feel like you have to find the in-between steps. So instead of I'm not good enough, I'm willing to work hard to be what I want. I'm willing to work hard to be good enough. I have always worked hard to be good enough. A lot of people say, I'm like the underdog. I'm not always the one that like is the shiniest person in the room, but I always somehow may get an opportunity. That's how I saw myself for a long time. But I have the degree. I wasn't educated to the level of some of my peers, but I always seemed to be the one that got promoted. I always seemed to be the one that got into leadership. I always seemed to be the one where doors opened for me. And now, instead of thinking myself as an underdog who worked really hard to get there, I see myself as I'm just the person who rules don't apply to in their career. I'm the person who doors open. That's a reframe in my mind. So what I'm saying to you is reframe what the things that you doubt. I'm not qualified enough. There are so many people without qualifications that are successful. That's a reframe because that's the truth. Go and look it up. Look at some of the most paid entrepreneurs in the world that don't have degrees. Look at some of the most successful people in the world, not qualified. Look at people around you that have degrees and are not even in the industry that those degrees are in. So you only put the emphasis on the degree because that's what you've been taught. I'm qualified to work with children. I've had a successful HR and recruitment career for the last 13 years. I've made a crap load of money for my company and it had nothing to do with having a degree because I don't have one in that field. So when you think about these things, reframe them. Me and my clients work on this because I am not here for my clients to just be having basic bitch thoughts. I'm here to pull everything out of my clients. And that doesn't matter whether my clients are shy and introverted. That doesn't matter if my clients are shy and extroverted, because just so you know, you can be shy and still be extroverted. Because, I'm a bit of both. I'm an ambivert, bit introverted, bit extroverted. I would say I lean more to the introverted side, but I'm still super confident. And a lot of people don't believe I'm shy because of my level of confidence. Because they confuse shyness with lack of confidence. The two things don't have to go together. Sometimes it's just a personality trait. Again, you can upgrade your personality as well. People are sometimes like, oh, I'm just this way and that's it. No, I was way more shy before. I was way more shy as a kid. I was way more shy in my 20s than I am now in my 30s. No way am I the same level of shyness. Your personality changes, your personality can upgrade. So don't put yourself in a box and then get stuck in that box. Okay, so I went off on a little bit of a tangent talking about personality traits and stuff, but it was important. The reason I was talking about it was because some people associate success with the way you are. So some of my clients say, well, because I'm shy, I probably won't be able to achieve that much. Or because I'm not an extrovert, like they think that you have to be a certain way to be more successful. And that is so far from the truth, because with all the pay rises that have happened, every client was very different. The first one who did it was actually really kind of introverted and didn't have that much confidence. And when I say the first person who did it, the first client who I helped get like 20K plus pay rise, she definitely wasn't an extrovert. She wasn't loud. It wasn't all of that. So yeah, just know that your personality doesn't determine your results. So back on track now. Let's get back on track. So we were talking about reframing thoughts. Such important work. So write out all the things you think currently, all the things that are holding you back. So first, let's just talk about what is holding you back. Why are you in a job that you don't like? Write out the answer. What would you love from a job but don't think you can get? Why are you not earning the money that you want? And I want you to just write down the first thing that pops into your head. Don't overthink it, because the first thing that pops into your head is the real answer. Now that you've got the real answer, I want you to reframe it. I want you to question it and be like, is that true? Just like I spoke about earlier. The next thing I work on with my clients is affirmations. We pick 3 to 5 affirmations that they feel in their soul and in their spirit. Like, I'm not picking basic affirmations, the ones that you see people write online. No, they have to make you feel something. Don't get me wrong. If you read an affirmation online and it makes you feel something, and when I say feel something, it makes you feel powerful. It makes you be like, yes, I needed that reminder. I posted one recently and it wasn't an affirmation as such, but I was like, stop underestimating who you are, sis. You're an entire vibe. Like, how does that make you feel? Like, sometimes I have to say to myself, like, calm down, Adele. Why are you letting the thoughts run the show in your brain? Listen, you are an entire vibe. That for me is an affirmation. I am an entire vibe. There is no one on this earth like me. That makes me feel good. But if when you say that to yourself that don't make you feel good, that's not your affirmation. Your affirmations are whatever makes you feel good. And you have to find 5 that are going to help you, 5 that are going to help you in your career. So we talk about it. I talk about to my clients about what they're good at. What do people come to them at work and say, like, oh, thanks? What do people praise them for? What are people always bothering them for at work because they know they're best at it? What does their boss rely on them for? Because a lot of you have got bosses that ask you to do so much and you have never even paid attention to the fact that the simple fact that your boss expects and needs and wants you to do so much for them means that they see in you stuff that you don't even see in yourself yet. And sometimes you need that. You need someone to carry the belief when you can't carry it. You need someone to see in you what you can't see. And then you need to pay attention to what it is that they're seeing in you. Because if they're asking you to do things over and over again, if people keep coming to you for the same stuff, you're good at it. It might just be your superpower. Pay attention. And then we make affirmations around those things so that my clients can start to feel powerful. And then whenever the doubt kicks in, they can go back to those affirmations. They can go back to the reframe where they've reframed all the negative thoughts that they have. The reason this is so important is the way you have been thinking, it has been built into you over the years. So if you have been kicking your own ass and telling yourself for ages, I'm not that smart, I'm not good enough, I just can't do this. You know how hard it's going to be for you to get that out of your brain. It's not going to be one day's worth of work. You can't just do some affirmations for a week and think that that's it, I'm all good. That's some surface level stuff. You need to feel it inside. So you need to be journaling, you need to be reframing your thoughts, but you need to be doing them on a regular basis. You need to pay attention every time negative thoughts come up. Go back to what you want to feel, go back to what you want to think. Self-talk is so important. I do not allow my clients to have basic bitch self-talk. We work so hard to tap into everything that's in them, and I help them pull out everything that's already in them that reminds them, I'm that bitch. We all need that. Whether you create an alter ego, because I know some people do that, they create their own alter ego, or whether you just decide, I'm that girl, I'm that woman, it's me. I can achieve amazing things because I decided. So like I said, I teach them to decide, make firm decisions on what they want, and decide that nothing else is acceptable. Because when you decide that nothing else is acceptable, when people come with these lame offers that are maybe 4K and you're like, oh my gosh, I got 4K pay. No, you told me you wanted 10, so we're going for 10. So decide. Then you're going to work on reframing negative thoughts. Then we work on affirmations. It's all about the self-talk. Your confidence will open so many doors for you. Believing in your skills will change your career. If you don't want to have to spend years getting more experience, if you just want to, put yourself on that upward trajectory, if you want to do the 20K pay rises like my client and the 30K pay rises like my client, if you want to do the 7K pay rises like my clients and the 4K pay rises, whatever it is, if you want to put yourself on that trajectory, I'm telling you, it's the internal work that gives you the external results. If it wasn't the case, like I said earlier in the podcast, the strategy that I teach everyone would mean that everyone would get the exact same result. Everybody that I taught the strategies to for interviews, everyone that I taught the strategies to for their CV, why are they not all getting the same pay rise? I can write the CVs because my clients that work with me one-on-one, I write their CVs. Like, they don't have to DIY it if they don't want to. I will rewrite a CV. I can open amazing doors. One of my clients came to me and said to me, listen, I think I'm great at interviews, but I can't get in the room. Like, I can't get shortlisted for the jobs that I want, and I want more money. So I just wrote her CV. And guess what? She was one of the people. 22K pay rise later. But the great thing with her was she already had the self-belief. So when she was able to walk into interviews, she just needed to understand how to position her skills. But the confidence was already there. So first interview, second interview, offer 22K more. Started with a CV that got her in the room. Everyone's journey will be different, but the thing that creates the results, the working on yourself, and this is constant work. I just want you guys to know that when my clients work with me, whether it's 4 weeks, whether it's a short session, whether it's 10 weeks, the work continues. I have clients coming back to me and saying, oh my gosh, I was really stressing about something, and I went and listened back to one of our recordings that we did in a session, because we record our sessions when clients work with me, and they'll say to me, I listened back to one of the recordings and it gave me the boost I needed. It gave me the reminder I needed. You have been thinking and acting a certain way for a certain amount of years. No matter however old you are, you've been doing things a certain way and paying attention to whether it's your family, your friends, the culture, society. You've been doing things in a certain way. Getting out of that won't just stop just because you get the good pay rise. It won't just stop because you start working on your confidence. It is consistent work. I still lack confidence in certain things. And I'm a confidence coach, and I can happily say that to you guys, because every level, there's something new comes up. So just when I think, I'm confident. Like when you ask me, am I confident? Yeah, of course I am. And then you say to me, go live on Instagram. And a year and a half ago, I was like, are you joking? Me go live on Instagram? Never. And now look at me with a podcast. So every level, just because you're confident in one thing, don't mean you're confident at the next level, if that makes sense. The way you do one thing is the way you do everything. So if you lack confidence in one area, you tend to lack confidence in other areas. So if you build it in one area, it tends to literally, it's like illuminating. It's like light. It spreads to all other areas. But that's still only at one level. There's about 50 levels of confidence. And each level requires different types of work. Each level requires questioning. Me thinking I was an underdog for a really long time served me for ages. That's what helped me have a successful career in recruitment. But me moving into owning a business, me moving into coaching and training as a coach, it required something else. It required me not believing that I'm the underdog and just believing that the rules do not apply. Reframing your thoughts changes everything, but you've got to do the work consistently. So like I said, reminder, recap. I know I just did, but I'll recap it again. Make the decision. Reframe your thoughts. Use affirmations and self-talk. Make sure your self-talk is really positive. There are so many other things. Like, I would be here all day if I go through everything I work on with my clients. But this is your start. If you were looking for a sign to change jobs, this is your sign. You don't need a sign, just so you know. Your gut telling you that this isn't for you anymore is the sign. But if you wanted one, here it is. 22K doesn't have to seem so far off. 5K pay rises are a thing. Because clients get around me and I now believe it just is a thing. The first time it happened, I was like, could just be a coincidence. When it happens 3 or 4 more times, you're like, okay. And when it keeps happening, then you're like, okay, definitely, this isn't a thing. This is actually reality. 5-figure pay rises are a thing in a 9-to-5. Don't let anyone tell you anything else. And if they do, tell them to come see me. If you want 5-figure pay rises, you can. If you want a job that makes you feel great and when you wake up in the morning you feel fulfilled, you can. If you want to switch from a 9-to-5 to being an entrepreneur, you can. Do you know how many clients come to me and they want to elevate their 9-to-5 and then they end up just becoming an entrepreneur because we start working together and they start believing in themselves so much that they're like, why have I got to wait? I'm going to do it today. Like I said, guys, if you want it, you've got to believe you can and then go and do it. How are my clients getting 5-figure pay rises? Because they've realized it's not what they say, but the way they say it. And the way you say things is based on your confidence and how you see yourself. And that's the person that you show the rest of the world. So if you want the world to see someone different, you first have to believe that you can be someone different and be the person that you want to become. So guys, like I said, it has been amazing starting this podcast in the summer and going all the way to the end of the year. It's literally been amazing. Like every 2 weeks, we release an episode and it's been so fun recording it. And I feel like even in this, I have gotten more confident, like doing my podcast. Because when I first started, I was like, oh my gosh, what if I ran out of things to talk about? And if you've been listening to me for a while, you can tell I'm a bit of a chatterbox. I speak really fast as well. And on the podcast, I sometimes need to remember to slow down. But I haven't let any of those things stop me. I think about them, but then I'm like, okay, that's the thought that I got in my mind. We move and I think something different. And I think even if my podcast helps one person, that's great. So I want to give a shout out to all my clients this year, everyone who has chosen to work with me this year. I want to give you all a congratulations, a well done, a round of applause. You are amazing. You have done amazing things. Go out in the world and keep being amazing. For all my listeners, you're amazing too. Own who you are and stop allowing other people to define who you are. If you let people define who you are, they will be in control of your life forever. So I want to thank all my listeners. You are all amazing. I want to shout out my VA, Florence. She is amazing. Anyone who needs a virtual assistant or knows anyone who needs one, get in touch with her. Don't try and use up all her time though, because I need her too. And I know she has another whole job where she's working with other coaches and she's amazing. But like I said, she helps any service provider. You don't have to be a coach. If you're a service provider, you're an entrepreneur, you are about your business, but you need some support. Listen, she will get you together because she gets me together. She thinks about it before I'm even thinking about it to make sure it gets done. She makes my life so much easier. So I just want to shout her out for editing my podcast, for being amazing, and for just shining her light in this world because she is awesome. Guys, I hope that you all have an amazing end to the year. If you're celebrating Christmas, have a great Christmas. If you have a lovely, amazing New Year. I will be back in the new year with a bang. I've already got some guest coaches lined up to speak to next year. And I hope to be able to speak to some of my clients at some point on this podcast. But, you know, my clients are a little bit shy. They come to me for confidence, guys. I'm a confidence and career coach. So, you know, people that are a bit shy or like not necessarily, even if they're not shy, a lot of my clients are very loud and very sort of extroverted, but they still have a lack of confidence. That extroversion is honestly the way they hide their lack of confidence. So some of them have been too shy to jump on the podcast, but maybe I'll convince one of them or two of them or some of them to get on here next year. Fingers crossed. Come on, guys. Fingers crossed with me. Anyway, thank you, guys. Thanks for all your support. It's been amazing. If you don't already, come follow me on Instagram. It's a vibe all the time over there. Yeah, it's at Coach Adele T. You know, it's in the show notes. But yeah, come follow me. If you're not following me, listen, why not? It's a vibe over there. I'll be showing you all my nice food, my takeaway when I'm lazy, my cake. No, for real, I don't be showing you just everything about my daily life, but I do be showing you what I'm doing. I help you to tap into the woman you want to become. I feel like my skill is showing women what they are capable of. And if you want to be next, go over to Instagram and hit follow. Jump on my website if you haven't already, atnrich.com. Guys, enjoy the rest of 2021. It's been real. It's been amazing. Take care. I hope this episode gave you exactly what you needed and motivated you to confidently take steps towards your next career move. If you enjoyed it, screenshot and share it on your socials, tag me on Instagram, and come join my community of amazing women working on leveling up their confidence and career. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.